All right. Shalom to the nation of Israel. First and foremost, before I get into my lesson, I want to start off giving all praises unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone that teach and rule well today. And salutation also to the fellow laborers that's in the ministry and the believers that scattered worldwide, that's in the faith, and exalt the names of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, in all truth and sincerity, day in and day out. Shalom. I'm the brother Shaquat Gabar from the Great Millstone, South Carolina Maintenance Branch. Once again, as I make mention, coming at you with another lesson. And as always, before I get into my lesson, this message or these videos goes out to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, which we are the true biblical Hebrew Israelites according to the Bible, and also to the Israelite foreigners that scattered amongst the heathen nations, and they may take on the typical look of another nation. But if your bloodline goes back to Negro, Latino, or Native American descent by the seed of your father, you are considered an Israelite as well. So shalom. So basically, I'm just going to get into a quick lesson through the spirit. And as you can see, I have this video queued up, okay, off the up and coming elder, Karat the Zop, okay, from the GMS Las Vegas branch. Okay, as you can see his page, GMS Vegas sit downs, 144 guy, okay, and you see the title going into no work for Egypt, inflation and mass tech layoffs. Okay, and this video basically going into the economy. Okay, and for years here in America, which is known as Babylon the Great in the scriptures, or Egypt. Okay, because this is the modern day captivity for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. Okay, spiritually. Okay, as we're being ruled over by the modern day Pharaoh. Okay, at this time, which is the so-called white race, which are the biblical Edomites, mainly the elites on down to the lesser luminary ones that's doing their bidding. Okay, and we're in the time uh this place financial crashing, man. Okay, economy crash. Okay, and that's why you're starting to see now the point of inflation. Okay, we're soon to be hyperinflation, because now we're witnessing prices going up in the local marketplaces, the grocery stores, okay, when it comes to the food, certain merchandise, okay, restaurants, okay, and at the meantime, there are coming shortages, okay, hey, and prices is going up, and generally, on all levels, man, okay, the gas, electricity, okay, water, okay, when it comes to utilities, man, okay, that people pay their bills daily, okay, to have those things, okay, as how this system is run, okay. But now we coming to the point of a financial crash, man, and we at the beginning stage of it, man. And in the midst of that, what's about to take place, that majority of these Americans are into, especially when it comes to you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, okay, when it comes to these pagan custom holidays, as we're approaching Thanksgiving, okay, which that holiday alone, okay, it's a great consuming holiday when people take all their hard-earned money to spending on, food, utilities, okay, such as, paper plates and, forks, spoons, okay, hell, even, it even got to be paper plates, in the paper form, or paper cups, okay, utilities such as, silverwares, okay, prices going up on all type of things, man. Okay, when it comes to these stores, man, outside the usual, what you would have for to eat, okay, it supplies for the support for the food, okay, clothes, okay, uh, um, cleaning materials, okay, etc., man, okay, And that's what majority of these people mind frame is toward Thanksgiving and the coming of Christmas, another consuming holiday, okay, where people take all their hard-earned money to go splurge it, man, okay, in vanity, which Yahweh Shem Yahushua, the God of the Bible and the God of you Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, the Israelites, despise that, okay, these customs, okay, that they uphold as feast days, man. Okay, so as we're coming to the point of the end of 2022, the year of the turn up of Yahweh Shema Shai, now people is specking more that it take more money, okay, to buy things that they usually get in previous years when it comes to these holidays, man. Okay, like I said, this a video going into it of inflation at the same times, jobs laying off employees, okay, big time companies. Okay, how much more the the low level companies, man. Okay, that keep America running. Okay, hey, at the same time you hearing about um, shortages when it comes to the trucking industry. Okay, a coming diesel shortage. Okay, shortage on water. Okay, but in the meantime, majority of the world, especially the ones of our people, you Negro, Latino, Native Americans, are blind to the fact of what's really about to go down. And as we're heading to a cashless society, because this is what it all is about, man. Okay, from these elites, that the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai is on these elites to cause a global crash so they can introduce, okay, a key prophecy in the Bible, okay, which is in Revelation chapter 13, verse 16, okay, the micro, okay, the CHIP, okay, that's what they about to implement, and that's going to be the next currency that take the physical dollar, okay, as you see these elites moving towards what the CBCD, a central bank current digital currency, okay, CBDC, okay, and lately all these countries are moving towards that monetary system, okay, being spearheaded electronically, okay. Once again, that MOTB. So we in that time, man. Okay. But I'm gonna go ahead and play this video, and I pray that this lesson be edifying, and I'm gonna get some scriptures.
Okay, this is kind of a warning video. Guys, there are about to be some incredible layoffs, not just with Meta and Twitter and whatever the hell is going on, but everybody is in trouble as far as your layoffs and your job goes. You must be fired to fix what the government has done to the economy. And the government's not been quiet about it. They've actually come out and told the entire country, y'all are all about to get fired. Sorry, our bad. Well, not our bad. Your bad. It's all your fault. Credit card debt has gone from $8,000 in 2020. In 2 freaking years, it's gone up to 20 grand. Do you know why? Because you guys are still buying shit you don't need with money you don't have to impress people you don't like, and you're putting your bills on there too. You have got to knock that shit off, because all of you people that are charging up your credit cards right now, and you're about to lose your job because there's a whole shitload of you that are probably going to see me, and then you're going to lose your job, and now you've got a massive amount of credit card debt. You could have used that debt right now, huh? Losing that job? Yeah. I cannot stress to you enough.
Listen, but she gotta come to the understanding, okay, that people are struggling, man. That's why they cash out on these credit cards, man. Okay, get all these credit cards and racking up on things when it comes to things they need. Okay, that's going to lead to what, as she made mention, debt. Okay, and at the same time, she's saying that people that using these credit cards and building up their debt, okay, when it comes to the credit cards and the interest they got to pay back, they're not going to have the money if they lay off. Okay, they can't pay it back. Okay, and that's going to be another avenue that Esau can use when it comes to them introducing a digital currency. Okay, you can reset your debt. Okay, a clean slate. Okay, and this can be introduced to you. You can take this, and this be more convenience for you. Okay?
Stop using your credit cards right now. Please stop. Have a secondary business lined up. Start your side hustle now. If you want to look for other employment, hey, you know what? It's a really good time, especially if you're a vet or active duty military. You definitely need to hit my link because right now I can get you a complete financial education with licensing for $25. Who says no to that? And you have 2 years to come on and be like, I just want to make sure I got in, make sure I got it for 25 and not what most everybody else will have to pay, which isn't that much more, but still. So for that, you hit that top link, the very top link, schedule with me, and let me get you in. You only have till December 1st to do this with me. But this other stuff coming down the pike, guys, Christmas is coming. So credit card debt's about to be even bigger, and then you're going to have a whole crap ton of layoffs really, really soon. You cannot say you weren't warned.
Today I lost my job at Twitter.
Man, who's getting paid when it comes to these holidays that most people spend all their money on? Okay, the $500, $500 million companies, man. Okay, the owners, man. Okay, so they don't care about the people hard-earned money they got to spend, the consumers. They don't care about the people debt that they got to rack up on due to credit cards or taking out loans through these banks. Okay, so all of it really is in vain. Because this place is already in, $30 trillion of debt, okay, when it comes to the U.S. debt clock, okay, the Treasury, okay. But in the meantime, they sending money over there to the Ukraine, Biden, billions of dollars just to aid a war, okay, that they losing badly, man, against Russia, okay. And that's why you had during the because we in November, they talking about mid-elections. You have most of the people that's voting, and the number one argument is the rate of inflation going up here in America, man. Okay? Okay, so this place heading for its downfall. So let me continue on.
Myself and many of my coworkers woke up to find out that we no longer have jobs. I was very lucky to have this job at Twitter. I worked on an awesome team with awesome people, coworkers who I even considered friends. And now that's over. To make it even worse, I'm reading a lot of negative, nasty things about my coworkers online, and I want to set the record straight. So I made a longer video talking about my experience working at Twitter, and you can watch it on my YouTube.
Our badges, they taking our vests, they making us hand over our vests, bro. I ain't gonna lie, this shit is crazy, man. This shit is crazy, man. Like, we really just getting walked out right now, bro. Like, I didn't think that the 10,000 news alert on Amazon.
Yeah, you see that big staff, okay, that got laid off, as it says, to capture Jeff Bezos, okay, through his company, laying off 10,000 workers. And you can see in that video, majority of them was so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans to say, okay, or so-called blacks, okay, which are Israelites, man. And it's about to be a crucial time that's going to come to this place, America. And who's going to get affected the most? You Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Because it's the majority of our people that work these hard labor jobs to keep the economy of America going, okay? And now they start to come to the point that they moving towards not only a cashless society, but machines to do the machine technology and machines, okay, to keep the business going. They don't need man no more or people no more. Okay, that's why now you go to these stores, they got self-checkout lines. Okay, no cashiers at the register. Okay, smart stores. Okay, I saw a video the other day that touching on the grocery store, Kokers, or whatever they call Kokers, that they got self-checkout carts. Okay, that people, you can get your merchandise off the shelf, ring it up, okay, through the machine that's on the cart and put it in your cart and pay after you finish shopping, man. Okay? And so this the times that we're heading to, man, through Esau Edom technocracy, man, through his technology that he got set up to trying to forge this NWO. And once again, what's going to be the key part of it when it comes to the financial way? okay? When it comes to transaction, the digital dollar, okay, which is, once again, Revelation chapter 13, verse 16, that MOTB, that micro, as we said, the C hip, the charama in the Greek, okay? So I'm going to continue on. Like these people complain about how they're getting laid off. Or they complain about inflation, how it take more money now to pay for things that they usually have the money for, but now it's a higher cost of living, okay?
The CEO, Andy Jassy, sending a note to employees just a few moments ago, talking about additional layoffs at that company into early 2023. Of course, they just announced recently 10,000 employees would be cut at that company. It's the reality of the downsizing that seems to be going on throughout big tech.
Yeah, so you see these big tech companies, you had the first individual, okay, talking about he got laid off from Twitter. Okay, now it's going into Jeff Bezos' company, Amazon, laying off 10,000 workers. Okay, so how much more to the low-level companies, man, okay, that keep America going? And that's why that whole C-19 that happened 2 years ago that shut down a lot of business due to lockdowns and due to the scare, that affected America's economy, and it never bounced back since then. It was already in bad shape before that situation took place, man. The whole CV-19, okay?
Take a look at those shares getting a little bit of a move, but we'll follow that clearly. Mike Santoli's here for his last word. It is the reality right now of these mega cap technology companies trying to right-size themselves for the environment.
No doubt about it. I mean, Amazon, 1.6 million employees. I think half of them hired in the last couple of years. And a lot of these big companies are finding themselves no longer having to face this like utter labor scarcity picture that they thought they were in a couple of years ago, and feeling as if they're not as productive as they could be in a decelerating revenue environment. So it's going to be an undertow, I think, to employment. Is it going to pad the margins as quickly as the next couple of quarters? Probably not that much, but it does show you they're in a different mode right now. It's no longer that we have this inevitable growth trajectory. It's much more about figuring out what makes sense to pay for or not.
The bloodbath in tech continues with Facebook, or Meta as it's now called, firing more than 11,000 employees. That's about 13% of its workforce.
Hey, so here you go. You had Twitter, Amazon, now Facebook, okay? And all these big tech, mass tech companies are owned by lesser luminary ones, man. Okay, that's doing the bidding of the elites, man. Okay, now all these layoffs. Okay, you see on that screen, Facebook headache, and what you see on there, majority of them, all of them, are women. Okay, because those are the biggest ones that, the most ones that have all these high-paid jobs. Okay, even to these low-level jobs, man. Okay, and now we coming to the point that these women going to be affected. Okay, all these women that had the mind frame of being independent, especially amongst our women. Okay, wait the squeeze come tighter, man, and they don't have no jobs or certain benefits from the government being cut, and they don't have no aid in that. Okay, so it's about to get real crucial, man.
And some of those Axe workers are going on social media to share their heartbreak. Amber Cagliano reports.
Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg is laying off 11,000 workers. I'm outside Facebook's New York City headquarters. Fired workers are expressing heartbreak over social media. They got the bad news early via an email at 6 a.m. and they were given 1 day's more access to their work emails to say farewell to their colleagues.
Oh my God, who wrote this? This was literally like my dream job. And I was so proud of myself when I got it. And I'm still very proud of myself.
Hey, TikTok. I don't have a job anymore.
I don't even know what to do with myself. I have been working since I was 15 years old. I've never once been unemployed.
This pregnant woman's last day is also her due date. She couldn't stop sobbing. Much of the problem is
And these big-time owners of these companies, they don't care. 10,000 workers, 11,000 workers, they ain't nothing to them, man. Okay, because they rolling in the dough. Okay, they got millions to billions of dollars, man. Okay? So there's nothing for them to lay off workers, man. And like I say, man, you see majority of these women complaining and sobbing and crying, man. Okay, the scriptures tell us what Isaiah chapter 32:9, rise up you women that are at ease, man. Okay, and like I say, especially amongst our women or you tribes. Okay, and it's going to be an effect amongst all these women here in America or even these other nations, these heathen nations. And that's why you're going to see more uproars of the people, man. Division, okay, clash wars, food riots, okay, due to the lack of benefits or resources, okay, that people need for their daily life to sustain themselves, man. So we coming to that point, man.
Zuckerberg's $100 billion investment in the metaverse.
The company has invested billions of dollars on their metaverse plans, and they've said that their losses around their metaverse division are going to grow next year.
Zuckerberg demonstrated
$1 billion, and they worrying about the growth of losses, but they laying off people.
the metaverse on CBS last year, creating an avatar for Gayle King.
Mark, I'm in.
All right, welcome.
Oh my God, you've got freckles on your nose.
I have freckles in real life too, so I'm trying to do the best with my avatar.
In a letter to employees, Zuckerberg...
And this is what they want in the near future, man. Everything virtual reality. Okay, if you're just going to be a worker, you got to be in a fantasy world as an employee with an MOTB in your hand. Okay? And this is what the mind frame of these elites, okay, the wicked, okay? The devil that the Bible speak of, these Edomites, man. Okay? And they're making it so convenient, so, easy. This is the better way as this place head into more of a great calamities and turmoils. This is the solution, what we have for you. Okay?
Said, this is a sad moment. I want to take accountability for how we got here.
So it's time to find a new dream.
Meta is offering a generous severance package. It's paying 16 weeks of base pay plus 2 additional weeks for every year of service.
It's hard to make ends meet when everything keeps going up.
With or without inflation, the maximum benefit for Wisconsinites out of work is $370 a week.
The way inflation is, $370 and minus taxes, or even $370, is not easy to live on.
Deb Bennett this week didn't get that max. Since she's working concessions downtown, the state sent her $52.
I don't have a car. I don't know how I'd make it with the car payment. I eat at work, so...
$52, man. Okay, $370 that they got the bank on. Okay, to rely on. And this is about to be a reality, and this is hitting now, okay? And it's going to come into more of a reality or real situation, dire situation, as this place head towards more of a hyperinflation, man. Okay, and like I say, these elites on down, they don't care about the people that keep this economy going, man. Okay, that's why it's soon to be the survival of the fittest. Okay, people gonna take matters in their own hands. Okay, that's why you're seeing uproars of civil war. Okay, you starting to see that amongst these Edomites, these low-level, average American so-called white people. These Edomites, they seeing the deal. They seeing what's going down. And you even start to see outside these nations, these heathen nations that came over here to seek the American dream. Okay, but you starting to see that amongst our people that trust in this place. Okay, that is how hard it is now to provide for themselves or for their family. Hey, so it's going to be that point of seditions among men.
That helps the grocery bill. I don't have cable, so I live on bare minimum, really.
She's one of 20,000 Wisconsinites the state says filed for unemployment last week. 2.5 years ago, everything changed. The state and country shut down, and the employment rate in the state spiked to 14%.
And I wonder what was the cost of that. They say 2 years ago and a half. You know, around that time, what happened? Okay, because that was a psyop, man. That was a stage event to cripple the economy even more to the point that where we at now. Okay, from these elites. And all of a sudden that happened, and they tell the people, to get juiced up, to go to your local, place to get it. Okay, then, you see the effect of that. And after all that, they say it doesn't work. Okay, not what they thought it would, what they said it would work towards, the people's health. Okay, but it worked towards their demise, man. And after all that, your homeboy Fauci, he bricked out and left. Okay, went back into the caves wherever he came out of. Okay, and at the end of it, they say, "Oh, my bad, it didn't work." But look how for the past 2 years and a half, how it had a major effect on this economy and the people lifestyle, man. Okay, and now what they have to do now, as things getting more worse. But for us, that's believing in Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, us are the hopeful elect. The Lord said that his men and the women, okay, that come up under the men of the Lord, okay, the men, women, and children of the elect is going to be taken care of, man. But for 2/3 of our people, right along with the rest of these heathens here in America, okay, they're going to face the wrath and the judgment of the Heavenly Father, man. Okay, because this is what it's all about. This is the time of the visitation of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai upon this place, America, Babylon the Great, man. For all the wickedness that is upholding, man, in the history. Okay, and the time of that set judgment is due.
There are 213 customers in queue.
In those early months of the pandemic, Wisconsin's Department of Workforce Development couldn't keep up with the calls. The state turned to call centers to help. Still on Thursday, the state's Unemployment Insurance Advisory Council asked Wisconsinites to share their thoughts for improving the system. But only a couple of people spoke. As those out of work get ready for the holidays, higher heating bills, and the long winter ahead. In Milwaukee, Jason Calvi, Fox 6 News.
Yeah, so you see it. So even the unemployment, the people that lie on the state government, okay, to give them aid due to them the loss of work, they're looking for aid, money, unemployment, they be given to them, and they're not even receiving that, okay, because most of these states amongst America don't have the aid, don't have the money, okay. If they do, they put it towards themselves, putting it in their own pocket, okay, feeding their own family. They're going to have a good Thanksgiving or upcoming Christmas, okay, because they feeling the heat too. And they know what time it is, man. Okay, but the average worker of America feeling it, even to the ones that's unemployed, man. Okay, remember back also during that whole situation with the pandemic, okay, they gave those stimulus, and who got the benefit of it the most? People that was unemployed. Okay, here, an average person might get the average pay of their unemployment, $250 or $350, but they'll get an addition due to the stimulus package of $600. Okay, so to round it up, they're about $950 a week, man. Okay, what's lead to more and more debt. Okay, and we're seeing the effect of that. And what do you think these people now are going to be crying out for? Another stimulus package, more help, more aid. And they're going to have the solution in this time as we coming into in the form of a digital currency. That's what we believe is heading to, because that's what they're pushing their agenda towards. But that's the end of the video. I'm going to let it play because it's going to show a couple of scriptures, and I'm going to get into some myself to wrap this lesson up. And I'm going to get that scripture. Yeah, I'm going to get all them scriptures. Yeah, because this is what the times that we in, man. These scriptures come into reality, which is prophecy. The word prophecy means to say before. And the word of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is not going to go out void. Okay? It ain't going to be in vain. Everything that the Lord announced in these scriptures from the past time of the ancient prophets, and also the ancient prophets are back here today through the Spirit. Okay, what the scriptures call reincarnation. Okay, now the Lord have his prophets out here once again to fulfill the ministry going out speaking of what's to come as we actually in these times, man. The scriptures you just seen on the script on the video, man. Okay, containing to a financial crash here in the last days, especially here in America, and you start to see worldwide when it comes to these different financial system of these other economies of these other countries starting to fail. Okay, over there in Europe, over there in Australia, parts of China, okay, South America, Central America, Canada, okay, as they experiencing financial woes. And it's coming to this place soon, man. And it's hitting now, okay, because we also got to remember, America dollar is a major stronghold when it comes to these other economies for doing trades with America. Okay, but now these countries are starting to do away with the American dollar. Okay, such as Russia, China. Okay, even their own allies, members of the EU. Okay, you know, you got Russia and China coming up with their own financial system called the BRICS. Okay, the acronym BRICS. Okay, what is BRICS, which represent Brazil, India, okay, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South America, and they added more people onto it as recently Iran, Argentina, okay, Venezuela, okay, because everybody starting to move from the American dollar, man. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into the scriptures. Like I said, I'm going to get the book of Isaiah, start off with the book of Isaiah, chapter 19, verse 14. The Lord hath mangled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof. Yeah, that perverse spirit is meaning what? Twisted, a confusion. And you see the state of the average Negro, Latino, Native American of our people in these other nations here in America. Okay, the morals of these people, man, their lifestyles. What they all involved in. And like I say, this week here alone, okay, they getting ready for Thanksgiving, looking for Christmas, looking for a new year to come in so they can do all the wickedness all over again. Okay, but it ain't like what it seems due to the financial woes, man. Hard times when it comes to their gain, when it comes to their money. Okay, and on top of that, you got all type of plagues hitting this place, man. Okay, that leaving these people more into distress, depression. Okay, and it says the Lord hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, and as a drunken man stagger in his vomit. Okay, neither shall there be any work for Egypt which the head or the tail or branch or rush may do. Hey, those big time tech companies such as we seen on that video, Twitter, Amazon, okay, Facebook, laying off thousands of workers. Okay, and other big time companies that's doing layoffs. Okay, that would consider the head of the economy. But it says even the tail, the low level companies, okay, that people work, that the average American people work. Okay, ain't gonna be no work for them either. It's gonna be major layoffs too in these plants, at the local grocery stores, restaurants. Okay, and it says the branch of the rush may do, in that day shall Egypt be like unto women. Okay, and it shall be afraid and fear because of the shaking of the hand of the Lord of hosts, which he's shaking over it. So these people gonna be afraid. And you see those women, the reaction of those women that got laid off. Okay, so how much more the men? Okay, when all hell break loose, man. Okay, the men, women, and these children that's gonna be suffering of all these nations, including 2/3 of our people. Okay, and the elect is gonna go through it But Yahweh Shemel Shai said he's going to deliver the elect out of the times of Jacob's trouble. Okay? The Lord says his servant's going to eat, his servant's going to drink, his servant's going to rejoice. And that's due to Yahweh Shemel Shai having that covering, okay, over his elect, start with the men. Okay? And we coming in the time also of the coming of the Third World War, which is biblical prophecy. Okay? Because at the peak of the Third World War, this place America is going to be destroyed, as it prophesied, by the way of thermonuclear destruction. And at that time, it's going to be a cashless society because, as I make mention, those that take that MOTB, that micro, okay, of our people, mainly, that take it, they're going to be destroyed by those missiles, okay, according to Revelation chapter 14, verse 9, okay, when this Third World War reaches peak. And that's also going to be the time of Yahweh Shai, who the world calls Christ's second coming. Okay, when he come at to wage war against these nations, starting with Esau, Edom, okay, against their armies, their military, okay? And he's going to come by the way of the chariots, okay? What the world call UFOs, which are the spaceships, okay? But they are the chariots, the vehicles of the angels, man. And how Yahweh Shai is going to return, okay, not only to deliver the elect from out of the destruction from those missiles, okay, but also to bring war, okay, that great judgment. So that's it. That's it of that. Okay, so the Lord is shaking this place up. Okay, and He's doing it by the way of Esau, Edom on the left hand side, but that's the will of the Lord that causing Esau to bring his own downfall, and in the process of it, the wicked of our people going to pay, and the rest of right along with the rest of these heathen nations, man, here in America and worldwide, man. Okay, but this place, America, is going to be totally destroyed and never inhabited again, according to what Revelation chapter 18. Now let me get this. This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 6. This is I started at verse 5. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 5. Yea, also because he transgressed by wine. Matter of fact, I'm going to start up at 4. And it says, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him. And that's going into Esau, Edom, starting with these elites on down to the lesser luminary ones that's doing their biddings, man. Okay, that's trying to force this NWO. And they're going to get to a certain point that they're going to establish it, but ultimately, the Lord is going to disappoint them. Okay, when Yahweh Shai return, and also when the Lord raises up his men. And the Lord is doing that now by the Lord raising up his men, speaking his word, telling them that they're going to fail. Okay, they're going to come close, but it's going to come to a point of being disappointed when Yahweh Shai come back and destroy Esau, Edom, Canaan, and take them out of power. And after that, all these nations start with Esau, Edom, these elites that escape the damnation of those missiles as they go into their bunkers. Okay, they hide in place. As the scripture says, they're going to be reserved for captivity, man, because that's their future. The Edomites and the rest of these heathen nations, once Yahweh Shai established the kingdom of Israel here on the earth, which, by the way, the land of Israel, I always make mention, that land going to be destroyed because the ones that's over there now go back to Edom, Amalek, and they're not the original people of that land. We are the so-called Negro, Latinos, Native Americans. Okay, that's the land they appointed to themselves. And the Lord going to destroy that land by fire, by the missiles, by the hand of Russia also. Okay, but that land going to be inhabited, being built up again once Yahweh Shai established the kingdom in our land. But America never going to be inhabited. Only thing that's going to inhabit this place is desert creatures, man. Okay, but Esau Edom is that individual whose soul does not lift up, is not upright in him, man. And it says, but the just shall live by faith. And that's starting with the elect, because the only one that's going to be delivered is a remnant of the nation of Israel. And that's the elect, the 144,000 and that 1/3. Verse 5, yea, also because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, he enlarged his desire as hell and is as death. And that's their MO, especially at this time. Okay, they want to bring a caste society worldwide. Okay, and they want to do it by the way of implementing that MOTB. And those that resist, they're going to have to pay the penalty. And they're going to come and force it by their sword, by their military. Okay, so we're preparing for the time to see martial law, concentration camps, okay, militia groups, okay, and also introducing it and putting it in play by their strict legislations, okay? They unrighteous decrees, man. Okay, but that's Esau, man. All he want to do is cause destruction and gain everybody unto themselves under this NWO. And it says, who enlarges his desire as hell and is as death and cannot be satisfied, but gather unto him all nations and heap to him all people. Okay, and the Lord all about this division. Esau is the one that pushing all nations together. Okay, he did that through the false doctrine of Christianity that majority of our people in the world believe in to this day. But when you read the true interpreted of the scriptures, the Most High is a separatist. It's all about his people. And the rest of these heathen nations, or these other nations which are heathens, they are our enemies, man. And the Lord is not dealing with them. The Lord is only dealing with the nation of Israel, and plus at this time, only the elect. Okay, so Esau is in the mind frame now to gather all nations unto him through this NWO, especially when they introduced that MOTB. Okay, and once again, that's why you're seeing worldwide all these countries going towards a central bank system. Okay, it's the CBDC, central bank digital currency, man. Verse 7, and it says, verse 6, Salaki, shall not all this take up a parable against him, a tunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increased that which is not of his, and how long to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. Okay, in the process of these nations, starting with Esau, Edom, mainly the elites out of the EU, okay, want to bring NWO, but it's still frictions, okay, especially when it comes to America. And that's why now you're starting to see all these countries ready to wage war against America, and Russia is in the lead of that, man, right along with China, Iran. Like I made mention, even certain NATO members of the EU military, okay, ready to side with Russia and to come against the EU and America and Israel, the state of Israel. And that's prophecy, man. Okay, because you're going to have certain NATO members, they're going to shoot their missiles on this place too. They're going to aid in that, right along with Russia. Okay, Revelation chapter 17. Okay, at the latter end of the chapter. Okay, how the beast's going to turn on the whore and burn it with fire. The beast represent NATO. Okay, their military. Okay, and you're going to have certain members shoot their missiles on this place, destroying the whore, America. Okay? And the reason why America is known as the whore, okay, because it lay down with all these countries, okay, mainly financially and through its philosophies, man. Okay? And that's why you see majority of the world, when it comes to the nations, are over here in America. Okay? So that's it on that. And it says what? And to him that laded himself with thick clay. That thick clay represent that depth. And due to these nations taking on the dollar of America, they don't find themselves in debt. And at the same time, America putting sanctions on them, okay, to ripple their economy. So it be to that point, man. Let me get on Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 7. And it says, Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand. And once again, that's America, okay? Outside of Egypt, okay, this place is known as Babylon too, which means confusion, okay? Because in the Bible, you ain't going to see the actual word America. It's symbolic or codified under different ancient empires, because America had taken on the same spirit of those empires through their customs, okay, through the way they rule and run things, okay, and have majority of the people here in America fall up under, man, okay? Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. Yeah, so America is that beacon of light when it comes to all countries, man, okay? The nations had drunken of a wine, therefore the nations are mad, and you seen that. You see the state of these nations for taking in the ways of America, democracy, okay? Send up their countries under the way of politicians, okay? And America that had gone throughout these other countries, destroying them by the way of their military and setting up their regimes, okay? Having these nations to obey and follow them, okay? As they set up militaries, as the scriptures go into garrisons, okay? Amongst these other countries, to push their democracy, okay? And that's why now you're seeing a lot of these countries out of order, man. Following the ways of America, drinking of that wine. Verse 8, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her? Take palm for her pain, if so be she may be healed. Okay, and this place is falling. And the inflation, okay, is showing that. Hey, the infrastructure is showing that. Okay, this place is falling. The morals of the people, the lifestyles of these people. Okay, showing that this place is over with, and America ain't is not look as great as it was. That's why Trump make the saying, "Make America great again," meaning that what is losing its grip on its power, man. It's falling. That's the will of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed, and this place ultimately is going to be destroyed. How for her take palm for her pain, if so be she may be healed. And a balm is for a healing ointment, okay, for a wound, to heal. Okay, and this place is going through pain. You witnessed that on those videos, man. Okay, and there's more to come. Verse 9, we will have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, let us go, every one into his own country, for her judgment reach unto the heaven, and is lift up even to the skies. And we're witnessing that. Okay, that's why you're seeing a lot of these nations that once desire to come over here, they come over here to make money. Okay, they fleeing. Okay, but us, of the hopeful elect, we're looking for Yahweh Shem Yahushua to come back to redeem us by the way of the chariots. Okay, not what Ron Dalton, okay, the author of the From Hebrews to Negroes document, okay, the biggest controversy over that for the past couple of weeks now. But part of that document, now Ron Dalton coming out talking about something as Israelites, okay, we got to flee and go back to Africa, okay? And as Pastor Tahar say, that takes money, okay? And you see how hard it is now, even to trying to sustain yourself here in America due to the inflation and the prices going up. So how much more it takes to trying to flee out of the country, man, okay, by getting on a plane, okay? No, Yahweh Shem Yahushua is going to be the hope for the elect, to bring deliverance to the elect, okay? But a lot of these other nations that came over here, a lot of them, they went back, okay? But some of them, they're going to be stuck over here and be part of the judgment of America, okay? As the scripture says, this is the time that her judgment reach up into the heaven and is lifted up to the skies, man. This is the time of Yahweh Shem Yahushua bringing in the remembrance, okay, that it's the time of, as it says in the prophecies, of the great judgment of this place, man. So that's it on that. So this place is through. Job losses, inflation, prices going up, certain benefits being cut, unemployment, okay? Let me get on Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 1. And it says, remember now the Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. And that's that warning towards you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. Okay? This the time now we're telling you to remember the Creator in the days of thy youth, okay, while the time is available. Because the Lord is going to remove his prophets off the highways and byways. And we're telling you, okay, starting with the apostles, the elders, a great millstone, and the brethren on down, okay, those that truly out there giving that warning of what's to come. Okay, and one of the things to come is a financial crash, and what's going to place this current system, okay, as they're moving towards a digital system, man. Okay, remember now the Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, for nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. And that's what it's about to be. All the mirth, all the partying, okay, all the wealth and the riches that people, the hope for their career, to find success in this place. Okay, they start not to have pleasure in them as they seeing things getting tighter, man. Okay, a domino effect of this place going down when it comes to its economy. Okay, and it says, while the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain. Yeah, that's going into this how this way the place uphold that this place, when it comes to the knowledge, okay, what they deem as knowledge, the way of American life, okay, define success, okay, prosperity. In that day, when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because there are few. Yeah, these jobs, the job losses, companies being shut down, plants being shut down, stores, and they laying off workers. Okay, and the economy is being corrupt more and more, failing more and more. And it says, and those that look out of the windows be darkened. Yeah, the opportunity. Okay, coming to a slim chance of none. Okay. And the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low. Okay, like I say, business being closed, marketplaces being closed, things being shut down. And what they did 2 years ago and a half, okay, that just was a prelude. Okay, now here goes the sequel. Okay, what they want to bring, the second one. And this one's going to outdo the first one way worse, man. Okay, because that was just a test run. Your boy Gates say that. They ain't pay attention to the first one, but best believe when the second one come, they're going to catch their attention. And the prophet's been saying that, man. The time of Jacob's trouble, the hour of martial law, concentration camps, the detention centers, the hour of the implementation of the MOTB, okay? Race wars, civil wars, famine. And it says, and the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. Yeah, the daughter of music, the entertainment. You see what that's endorsing and pushing now, especially through hip-hop, and that's being exposed. The wickedness of that, and who's all behind that, the small hats, the 48ers, okay? But it's coming to the point that the mirth is going to cease. All this going out, talking about people going out clubbing and partying and going to their best local restaurant, their best movie theater, going on concert, through these music tours, okay? They going to the different sports events. All that's going to cease, man. So that's it on that. Let me see how I get on. I'm going to end off with two more scriptures. I'm going to end off with 2nd Esdras. Well, I'm going to get 2nd Esdras and I'm going to get Romans. And I'll close. 2nd Esdras chapter 16, verse 16. And there's plenty of scriptures going into a financial crash and the time of the Lord bringing judgment, man. Okay, and here in these times, man. And where this financial crash that's about to take place is going to lead to, once again, that MOTB, that micro. What's going to be the be all, the end all of America, man. Okay, when the Lord send those missiles in that time to destroy this place. And we're coming to that point. Okay, that's why you're seeing, once again, the prophecy of that MOTB that's about to come into effect. And when these elites moving with their agenda, because we're coming to their downfall. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 16. Like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backward, going into these plagues. Okay, the financial crash, okay, financial woes, that's a plague. Okay, famine, pestilence, okay, and ultimately those missiles. Okay, once the missiles are going to be launched, they ain't going to turn back. And it says, even so, the plagues that shall be sent upon earth shall not return again. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? Okay, so Edra seen himself in these times. Okay, as I made mention earlier, the prophets are back here today, okay, through the Spirit, and they the same lot through reincarnation, okay, to preach and give that warning unto those that's not going to hear it. They're going to be destroyed. They're going to be part of that woe, which the word woe means destruction. Okay, but the ones that's going to take heed of the elect, okay, is going to receive the reward of the covenant of the Lord and ultimately the salvation, okay, and being part of the Lord's kingdom, okay, because and like I always make mention, 2/3 of our people that die on this side in this lifetime, okay, the wicked ones of our people, they're going to come back in the kingdom being the children of the elect, and that's how they're going to inherit the kingdom, okay, and you heathens that die on this side, you're going to come back through your offspring of those that's going to be the first ones to be shackled up through slavery, man. Starting with these elites of Esau, Edom, and the heads of these other nations, man. That's going to be reserved for captivity. Because everything's reincarnated, man. And like High Priest Ariel said, that's the beautiful thing about it. Ain't no getting away, man. Everything is reincarnated. And it says, continue on, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? And we looking for Yahweh Shemel Shah to deliver us of the hopeful elect. Verse 18, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, and all these things on the rise right now, okay, happening right now. The beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils, what shall I do when these evils shall come? And once again, the answer for us is to trust in Yahweh Shem Yahushai. But majority of our people don't put their trust or not looking for the covering of the Lord. So therefore, they're going to get caught up into these plagues that Esdras has stated, okay, in verse 18, okay? Right along with these heathens. Verse 19, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for a minute. And these things are coming to the point of effect now. And people being affected now, but these people still in the mind frame of being wickedness, being wicked, pride, thinking that no destruction is going to come, thinking that America going to rebound, okay, thinking this place going to prosper. But at the same time, they complaining, but they voting, thinking that everything get back right, okay? Yeah, according to Micah chapter 2 and 10, for the Israelite, this place is not our rest, man, okay? But for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges, okay? Yeah, what the Lord is doing, these calamities that's happening now, they like scourges, like whips, okay? And these people feeling it, but still they ain't gonna turn. When it comes to the ones of our people, they still ain't gonna trust and knowledge Yahweh Shema Shah is the one that's doing this. And the prophets out there telling them, okay, giving them that warning, man. But they despise the prophets. They scoff and scorn. They make mockery, okay, of the men of the Lord, or the word of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. The Lord said they wasn't at none of my reproof, none of my counsel. Because if they stood in the counsel of the Lord, then they will understand. But only the elect is going to be the one that's going to understand to be sealed and be delivered for the times of trouble, okay, that we're about to enter into, man. Verse 21, behold, virtuous shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in a good case. And that's now. Okay, because the prices are still reasonable, even though people are complaining about things going up. Okay, but they still think they're in a good case. They still can go gather their goods, spend their money, even though prices up on food and products for Thanksgiving, on gifts and toys or material things, okay, for Christmas, okay? So they think they're in a good case. But more of this place prolonged, we're heading to the point of this place crashing, man. And eventually all hell breaking loose, man. And we right at the door of it, man. And these people are being distracted of all the madness that's going on. They think that they're in the point of being comfortable. But at the same time, they're seeing the hell that's about to break loose. They're seeing the hard times. Okay? And they feeling it. And it says, behold, virtues shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in a good case, and even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. Yeah, so soon to come, man, these people, they better eat all they can eat now for Thanksgiving, for Christmas, okay? Because when that famine hit to the fullest, shortages, and it ain't like there's gonna be no food. It's gonna be orchestrated. Okay, as you can see now, they're causing a made man famine. Okay, euthanizing the cattle, destroying certain products, dairy products. Okay, burning out food, facility, processed food facilities. Okay, yeah, so it's gonna be a major famine, and the Lord said His servants is gonna eat. The servants is gonna be taken care of the elect. But for 2/3 of our people, right along with the majority of these people of the world, here in America especially, they're gonna be left out. The hunger, man. Okay, and those that take that MOTB to buy or sell, they ain't even guarantee they're gonna eat. Okay, because there's still gonna be a limit, a rational of food, what they can give, and what they feel what you need. Okay, like your boy Claus say, they're gonna eat the bugs. Thou should, what they say, these shall eat the bugs. Okay, they talking about eating bugs and stuff, man. Creating damn laboratory meat. Like it ain't enough artificial meat. GMOs. The garbage they put into these stores. And so it's a shortage on that. So how much more real food, man? That's scarce. Cause damn near everything we eat now is GMO. And they telling you they're gonna come up with some more GMO food, artificial food that's supposed to be beneficial, but it's gonna even cause more harm. Let me continue on. And it says, for many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. So ultimately, if they escape the famine, the destruction gonna get them anyway, especially if the missiles, okay? That's the ultimate sword. So let me get Romans and I'll close out. This is the book of Romans, chapter 13. Let me see, verse 11. And it says, and that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep. And that's what we're telling our people. Okay, the prophets, man, start with the apostles and elders and bishops and the brethren on down. And those that's in the true spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, of the elect or the hopeful elect that's out there giving that warning, man. Telling our people it's high time to wake out of sleep. Okay? Because this is the time of the Lord visitation to bring destruction ultimately on this place, man. And the only ones that's going to repent and come back and acknowledge that is the elect. For the rest of our people, according to Zechariah chapter 13, verse 8, they're going to be cut off, man. Okay? And they're going to feel the wrath of the Lord. Okay? But this is the time now. Okay? To seek this truth and to receive it. Because not only is going to be a famine of bread and of water and harsh times to come, but also it's going to be the famine of the word when the Lord remove his men off the highways and byways and his word that's available on the internet at this time. Okay, as we're witnessing that now with his persecution coming. Okay, so the Lord ain't going to have his word available forever. It's going to come to the point of time that the Lord is going to bring the judgment, man. And when the elect is sealed, that's it, man. Okay? And it says, and that knowing the time it is high time, and that knowing the time that now it is high time to wake out of sleep, is going to spiritually sleep, not physically, spiritually. Okay, and a lot of our people spiritually sleep, okay, trusting in this world, trusting in this system, trusting in these false gods, these idols, these false doctrines of what they've been subscribed to, what they give their faith in, they trust in. Okay, so they're asleep. Okay, the elect is going to be truly awakened by being introduced to the truth through the spirit and power you have by Shema Shai. Okay, and that's why another way of saying the elect is the living. Okay, because once you receive the truth and the full understanding through the spirit of power you have by Shema Shai, okay, now we're at the point of the true existence of living in the spirit. Okay, even though we're in this captivity. Okay, and it says, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believe. So our salvation is nearer than what we believe, man. And we know that by these signs, by these prophecies, okay, that's coming to pass. Okay? So we know that we that close to Yahweh Shai returning to bring destruction and only delivering the elect out of it, man. And that Yahweh Shai is about to establish his kingdom that's going to be above all these nations, man. Starting with Esau, Edom. Okay? And the elect, start with the elect of the nation of Israel being joint heirs, man. So I'm going to go ahead and end the lesson here. And I pray that the lesson be edifying. Until the next time, I'm going to end off by giving all praises unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kodash, double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone that teach and rule well today, and which also the true leaders of Israel today as well. And citation also to the fellow laborers that's in the ministry and the believers that scattered worldwide that's in the faith, and exalt the names of Yahweh by Shemi Shai in all truth and sincerity, day in and day out. Shalom to the elect of Israel, which also is the elect of Yahweh Shai. Shalom.